Hi, I'm Jerry Ford and welcome to my studio and welcome to the April 2025 edition of the Mug Rug of the Month Club. If you would like a copy of this design and the written instructions, or you would like to become a member of my Mug Rug Club, of course it's actually free, just send me an email, request at waltzquilt@yahoo.com, and I'll be happy to send it to you. This is a fun and easy project. It can be done with some scraps and a little bit of thread. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so here's the supplies we're going to need for this month's mug rug. You're going to need, of course, your 5x7 frame or larger. Any type of stabilizer will do. I happen to be using Rinse Away, Tear Away, a piece of batting about 6 inches by 6 inches, or just a scrap of batting. You're going to need a background fabric, just a scrap of that, at least maybe 6.5 by 6.5 at the very least. You're going to need something for the backing, so you can either have 2 pieces of 5 by 8 inch pieces folded in half. This is for the backing and pressed. Or what I did is I took my 5.5 by, I think I did 5 inches, and I put in a little 1/2 inch, just a plain fold over hem, not a double hem, just a single, and just stitched it down because I like a little bit less bulk in my mug rugs. You're going to need a piece of fabric that you like for the pinwheel, and whatever color you want for the center of the pinwheel. For the backing, I like to seal mine with just some fusible web. I have some tape of that. It's good to have a good sharp pair of scissors, embroidery scissors. I like the curved kind, and it's sharp all the way to the point, so it makes the cuts nice and even and clean. It also helps to have a point turner, of course, an iron and an ironing block. The colors that I'm going to use, embroidery, I'm going to use white, and this is going to be for the stippling. You can use whatever color you want to stipple and assemble it, either a neutral or one to match your background fabric. I'm going to use the purple for the pinwheel. I'm going to use this for the center of the pinwheel. Black for the bee, yellow for the bee, and I want to use this little bit of shimmery silver or light gray for the bee's wings. You're going to need to have your file loaded on your machine. It's called April 2025. And remember, if you want a copy of this file, send an email request to me at waltzquilt@yahoo.com, and I'll be happy to send it to you for free along with the written instructions. I've hooped just my stabilizer, so let's go ahead and go to the machine. So I'm going to do the first color stop. I've just loaded it with white, and I'm going to show the placement for the batting. It's hard to see this white, but it's just ordinary white. I'm going to cover the stitching with a piece of batting. You could also use Insulbrite if you have it. Just want to make sure it covers all of the stitches, and do the tack down. I'm going to remove the hoop from the machine but leave the fabric in the hoop, and I'm going to trim this excess batting from outside of the seam line. This will reduce the bulk when you turn the finished mug rug around. And now I'm going to return the hoop to the machine. Put the background fabric on top so that overlaps the batting by a good 1/2 inch. And this one is color stop number 3, and it's going to tack down the background fabric. Okay, color stop number 4 is going to do the stippling on the quilting fabric right here. So whatever color you want, you can put it in the needle. I'm going to leave white in there, or if you don't want stippling or quilting on there, just go ahead and skip this step. Okay, this is going to take a little while, approximately 4 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and stitch this off camera, and I will be back when it's done with the stippling. Okay, color stop number 5 is going to show you the placement for the applique fabric for the pinwheel. And I switched to purple. Okay, I'm going to put my applique fabric on top so that it covers all of the stitching, and stitch color stop number 6, which is going to tack down the pinwheel applique fabric. Okay, now I'm going to again remove the fabric. I'm going to remove the hoop from the machine, but leave the fabric in the hoop. And I'm going to trim really close to the stitching line for the applique. And this you want to cut it as close as you can. And this is best done on a table. So I'm going to finish cutting this off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, now I have finished trimming it. I got it nice and close. Return the hoop to the machine, and I put purple in the needle to match my fabric. You want to pick a color that's a little bit darker than your fabric. Stitch color stop number 7, which is going to seal in all the edges of the pinwheel. Okay, this is going to take a while, so I'll go ahead and I will stitch this off camera, and then I will be back. Okay, so now all of the pinwheel is stitched down. So now I just need to do the center. So I have put the gold, harvest gold thread in my needle because I want it to match what I'm using for the center. And I'm going to take this little 2" by 2" piece and cover that center circle till everything's covered. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch color stop number 8, which is going to tack down the center circle of the pinwheel. Okay, once again I'm going to trim away the excess fabric from outside of the center applique piece. Return the hoop to the machine. Stitch color stop number 9, which is going to give you the detail work in the center of the pinwheel. Okay, this is going to be a little while, so I will be back. Okay, I finished doing the detail work in the center. So next one, I put a color stop in here in case you want to do the outline a different color. And then this is going to seal in the edges of the pinwheel circle. Okay, I will be back when this is done stitching. Okay, the pinwheel is finished. So now we're going to stitch the bees. The first color, I'm going to be using a light metallic silver, but you can use any color you like for the wings. If you are using metallic thread, you want to make sure that you slow down your machine. Use a metallic needle. Also, you want to loosen the tension on your needle as well. You'll just get a better stitch out. I will be back when it's done stitching. Okay, for color stop number 12, it's going to be the body and the head of the bee. And so therefore I have returned my tension back to its normal 4.0 and sped my machine back up to 700 stitches per minute. And now I'm put yellow into the needle. And so let's go ahead and stitch the body and the head of the bee. Okay, next to the last color, number 13 is I put black in the needle to do the details and the outline of the bees. Okay, we're finished with the bees. Now we're ready to finish the backing. So I have overlapped my two backs together. Overlap it about an inch or so. If you like, you can tape or pin them together. Here, I just pinned them together just for a moment. Makes it easier to handle. I'll put this in the center, and it can be either horizontal or vertical, doesn't matter. I want this to overlap these outside stitches by at least 1/4 of an inch. I should have cut this a little wider. I'm going to stitch the last color stop, and I'm going to walk this at least till I know which way it's going and that everything is nice and straight. So I'm going to, walking this means that I'm going to put my finger on the start button and I'm going to hold it, not let it go. You could tape this down if you like, and see it's clearing it, so we're good. I want it to clear that area. Then I can let that go. Okay, it's coming to this side, so I'm going to stop and walk it over. I didn't get it in the center, but that's okay. You want to get that in the center as much as possible. Okay, for safety's sake, I'm going to take these pins out now. I don't. There we go. If you're worried about it catching, stop it. Oh, it's going to go back the other way. Okay, so we're good. If your machine does not have the ability to do walking over top of these seams, you might want to take some tape, painter's tape or Kimberbell tape or surgical tape, just the paper tape. Then tape them down so that this does not get caught in the foot. Okay, so now we're finished. So let's go to the table because I'm going to remove the hoop from the machine, take the fabric out of the hoop. I'm going to rip away most of this stabilizer on the outside. Taking it out. So I'm going to trim this here. I'm just going to use my pinking shears. Come around close. If you don't have pinking shears, then just cut about 1/4 of an inch and then just clip the curves. Here's what it looks like on the back. Now I'm just going to turn it right sides out. Okay, I'm going to press from the back. If you like, you can take your fusible web. I just want it really thin. You could hand stitch this closed, but I choose not to do so. Okay, now it's sealed on the back, although you don't have to seal it if you don't want to. And now it's finished. Okay, here's a hint for cutting these little tiny jump stitches that you may have because they're hard to grab. You can see one right there. This, I like to use this. It's called a side hopper, and it's made by Tooltron. You can get this at a quilt shop, and I think you can even get them on Amazon. But it's a really tiny little scissor, and it's got a little tiny sharp point right here, so it makes it real easy to get up underneath and clip these teeny tiny jump stitches. There, got the jump stitch out. Really nice. This is done and it's really cute. It'll look nice on your spring table. If you would like a free copy of this design for the mug rug, then send me an email request at waltzquilt@yahoo.com and I'll be happy to send it to you along with the written instructions. I hope you like this project. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you would like to become a member of our Mug Rug of the Month Club, then again, send me an email at waltzquilt@yahoo.com and I'll add you to the list. Okay, see you later. Happy spring. Bye.